Hello there everyone and welcome back. Today we will be looking at an older product, but one that I've kind of used a bit and one that's not your typical product that I review. So probably this review is going to be much shorter, but I wanted to take a look at the Real Life Tarot deck by David Regal. This is a fun tarot deck that comes with a cool routine, but it's most of all just a normal tarot deck that you can use in your magic and mentalism for whatever effects you would want to do. So having said that, let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about the Real Life Tarot deck. So what is this? This is a tarot deck. It's as simple as that. It's a tarot deck that will allow you to do readings. If you connect with the images, it will allow you to do readings. It will allow you to do magic effects with tarot cards if you do. And he even teaches you a cut the aces routine with tarot cards. So he teaches you a fun way to force 4 cards on someone and then give them kind of a premonition reading and then turn out that all your readings are correct. But of course, you can also use this for any other effects with tarot cards that you know. I have reviewed quite a while back in a video the Tarot Magic booklet by, I believe it's called Filippini, that has a ton of effects that just require a normal tarot deck. So you could visit that video if you want to buy this to do that. But yeah, it is essentially a tarot deck. So we're going to look at it and dissect it in a moment. But first, where do you buy this? How much does it cost? And what do you get? So you can buy this from some of your favorite magic dealers. Not all of them have it, but I do know Vanishing Ink and some other ones do carry this. This will set you back 22 USD, which is around 30 Canadian. And what you get is this tarot deck. You get this box. This box will come wrapped in a cellophane. On that cellophane, you will get your code to the 5-minute instructional video. I think it's 4.5 minutes, where he's going to teach you and perform for you his ace cutting routine that you can do with the deck. And then of course, inside you are going to get your tarot deck. So I'll show you this right here. You're also going to get kind of these cards here, which are kind of, you know, how to give a one-on-one reading, a group reading, and how to play it as a game. So you get these tarot cards if you want to learn about that. The box is also inside is designed. It looks very nice. This is also limited and numbered, so it is a special edition. So you do get a numbered and limited stamp on every one. And these is what the tarot cards look like. The back of the cards look very nice. So they are kind of similar to the Rider Waite. And the design on the cards are also very well painted. All of the cards look incredibly good. No matter what card it is, they do look very good and very interesting. But as you can see, the images on them are very interesting, like a TV remote. Or, for example, here you could get, you know, something like this one, like the microdoser, or something like, you know, this one's kind of funny, the rent-controlled apartment. So these are not your typical tarot cards that you would be accustomed to seeing. These are very kind of quirky, comedic tarot cards, but some that I feel actually are pretty good. You know, there's a set of some of these cards that you could actually use with kind of the force that he teaches you and give a really good reading. Some of them are more complicated, and some, what I do like is some of them are for your own interpretation. For example, if you would pull this card for someone in a reading, you know, they will have a completely different interpretation of this card than you. And that's what I kind of like, is with the standard tarot cards, there's this kind of general interpretation of what the cards mean and what the cards represent. Whereas here, the cards mean whatever you feel, which I feel does add a genuine feel to it. Now, I do know there's pros and cons to this. I know some people have commented on, you know, online and said, like, for example, you know, you don't want to pull a syringe on someone, or some of these cards are meant to be more funny than serious, and some of them could be insulting to some people. I know some people flag this. I know there's a card, I believe, in here called the Conspiracy Nut, and some people are like, you know, after everything that happened with COVID and all of the incidents in the world and the different takes that you have, you know, you don't really want to accuse someone of being a conspiracy nut and, anything like that. So yes, some cards here are a bit more difficult to interpret for some people, but I do still think that you can have some fun with them, and I do think that they are genuinely a fun deck of tarot cards to interpret. I have used this for a few readings, and it's just very fun, For example, getting a card like this, it's just a meal kit. But to me, this means that your plate is full at the moment, and it means that you're doing different things in your life right now that represent complete different things, which are the different compartments in the tray, and all of these are full. And that could either mean that you're very happy and you're doing everything that you want in life, or maybe it could mean that, it's time to maybe eat at some of these sections and empty them a bit and just alleviate some pressure that you have on your shoulders. Maybe take a bit of time off, off a certain section and focus on another one, etc. So to me, see, a thing like this could mean what I've just mentioned, but to you, it could mean a completely different thing. And I just love being sparked my imagination when doing a tarot reading, because I just feel that it makes it much more genuine and much more interesting. And this is what this deck offers. It is not for everyone, but I do think that some people are going to find it interesting to own this deck. I won't go through all of the cards. I'll keep this review short. They do handle like a normal tarot deck. The stock on them is very nice. They're not marked, so don't expect them to be marked. They spread nice. They handle nice. As I said, the back design is nice. The front of the cards are incredibly well designed, painted, and written. There is a mistake on one of the cards, a spelling mistake, but I do think he justified it in the newer versions, or he told you how to justify it in term of patter, if ever that would come up and someone is to point it out. But yeah, this was a very short review. If you want to learn difficulty, the routine that he teaches you is very simple. So if you just want to use this tarot deck for that routine, because there are some very good cards here that you can put for a specific reading. If you want to give it to someone special or a big CEO or something in a company, and you have a pre-written reading for them, the routine is relatively easy to achieve. In terms of practicality, you just need to carry around your deck, and that is pretty much it. So it is a tarot deck, so if you don't carry around tarot cards, this is pretty heavy, so you're going to have to carry it in the box. In terms of angles and all of that, there's none, no reset. Even for the routine where you force the cards, the reset is pretty much instant. So there's not much reset. You do need a table when you work with tarot cards, so that is a must. And in terms of where to perform this is definitely something that you're not going to do table hopping or walk around. This is more something for intimate performances or parlor settings, or one-on-one type performances at your home, at someone's home, or in a more intimate type setting. Let's say you're not going to perform tarot card readings at a wedding. So having said all of this, what are the positives and negatives? One of the negatives is, as I've said, one of the card has a misspell on it, which could, if you don't like that, you can just remove it from the deck. But if you don't mind finding an alternative, he does tell you how to justify it. And another negative is that some of the images are really out there. So if you're not someone that's done tarot card readings or is familiar with giving readings, or doesn't have much creativity when it comes to putting meaning to objects, it's going to be a bit more difficult to use this tarot deck compared to others on the market. But what are the positives? One of the positives is that it's a very unique deck. That means that there's not going to be a predisposition of your spectators as to what to expect from the reading, because everyone knows what the Devil, the Tower, the Ace of Pentacles, that is, interested in tarot, what all those cards mean. But pulling a card like the LARPer, no one is going to have a predisposition of what that possibly could mean, so their interest is going to be immediately piqued. Also, there's not many of these out there, which means that it's not going to be mass used by everyone out there, so it's going to be a unique tarot deck to you as a performer that you're going to be able to use and get your readings from. The biggest positive to me about this is that they look very nice front and back. The pictures, the design, everything is flawless. But the biggest positive is if you're creative and you like to put meaning to things, even though it may be the most mundane thing, I think this deck of tarot card will unleash your imagination to new heights when it comes to maybe giving a reading or using them in your performances. So that's all I have to say about the real life tarot deck. Would I recommend it? If you're into tarot magic and if you want to have a unique deck that's going to allow you to stand out and it's going to break the barriers of what everyone expects from the normally used and seen tarot cards, buy this, you will not be disappointed. However, if you're a more traditional tarot worker and you may feel that some cards here are a bit too much on the comical side or on the side that could offend people if you don't know how to put an image to them, then this may not be for you. But overall, I think this is a good product. This is not really something that I could recommend or not recommend because it really depends on you as a worker. So it's really not up to me, it's up to you to decide. There are some additional pictures of the cards online if you want to see, because it would take a long time for me to go one by one through them. But yeah, overall, it is a really good tarot deck for what it is. It's fun, and I think that for those workers, especially in mentalism, that like to use one, this could be a great new piece to add to your show. So that's all I have to say about the Real Life Tarot deck by David Regal. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in my next review. Have a great one, and bye.